Cutbacks are definitely the most dangerous position to be in as a goalkeeper due to the short period of time you have to work with, as well as the quick decisions you must make. The cutback is by far the hardest aspect for goalkeepers to defend due to many factors. So in this video, I'll show you how to defend cutbacks and give you drills you can do to improve your ability at defending cutbacks. A cutback is when an attacker takes the ball to the byline and passes the ball across goal in and around your 6-yard box. These are difficult saves to make. For the same reason, saving shots from a few yards out are also difficult to save. Therefore, in these situations, you must focus on your positioning. As the ball goes down the line, you should come up close to the post, about 1 to 2 steps away from it, facing the attacker. Depending on the distance the attacker is away from you, you'd be either further off the post or closer to the post. If the attacker is nearer the post, you'd be closer to the post to protect the angles, and if the attacker is further away from you, you would be further away from the post. Stay relatively close to the near post, as it can be possible for them to take a shot on the near post. However, if they are further back, the risk is lowered for them attempting to take a shot at the near post. If they are further back, then you'd also be a little bit further back in the goal in case of a cross over your head, which you may catch or punch. When set on the post, you don't want to be too far past the post, as that way, if the ball is played, you have a very difficult task of getting back into the goal. So stay relatively parallel to the post, not behind it but parallel or half a step in front of the post, to give you a good chance of saving the ball and dropping back in case of a pass. That is unless they take too big of a touch and you can come out and claim the ball from under them. However, some goalkeepers such as Sergio Romero go with their feet, as that way you are protecting your hands and face from the attackers, whereas if you went with your hands and head, you are more vulnerable to injury. Some goalkeepers like to stand at a 45-degree angle on the post, as you can see more of the pitch and you can drop back into the goal quicker. However, you're limiting yourself to the balls you can cut out. I recommend staying parallel to the post during these situations. Your first initial reaction to cutbacks is whether you can attack the ball, ending the play, as that is also the easiest way to deal with these situations. If you can collapse on the ball and catch it, then the danger is gone. Even if you palm it away, in some situations, you decrease the danger level. That's because the slightest touch would deflect the ball away from the attacker, and they would need to react very fast to the ball, which is unlikely, as that little touch can put the attacker off, as they may overrun it or underrun their attack. Also remember to focus on your initial power step when going for the ball, as that power step must be going forwards and not backwards. However, not every ball will be possible to dive due to maybe it being too high or far, or even a shot too fast. You drop back into position onto your goal line to maximise your potential of saving the ball whilst reacting to it, as some shots will be taken from 2 to 3 meters away. However, another thing you may do is close the angle down, making the space to score past you as small as possible. However, in some cases that won't be possible and you would have to drop back to your goal line. Dropping back to your goal line is the safest option to go for in these situations, as when you get close to them, you're hoping the ball hits you, and when you are on your line, you have more room to work with. Remember, when you are dropping back, you should always track the ball and keep your body weight forward, as that way you can save more shots. If you get caught flat-footed, then you would concede almost 100% of the time, as it will be difficult to distribute your body from one area to another in such a small window of time. Ensure you are fully set when the ball is hit, as that way you can reach it as fast as possible, giving you the best chance of saving the ball, because if you are still moving, then the player may just put the ball back to the corner you just came from, and it will be very difficult to get your body to save the ball again. When facing these cutbacks, trust yourself, as these are only split-second decisions, so if you get it wrong, then there's no big issue, as your defenders should be there marking the attackers to help you defend. If you get the ball, then amazing, it just alleviated an attack. However, you must also focus on your footwork when facing these cutbacks. As the ball is played, you want to pivot your body parallel with the goal line before you begin to shuffle into position. As you are tracking the ball, you want to move accordingly to the ball's motion. As you notice, to to which player the ball is heading, you can cheat your footwork a little bit by getting into position early. However, you don't want to move too fast, as an own goal from defender is still possible. Your footwork must be adjusted to the ball's speed of motion. If the ball is moving fast to the other side of the box, you want to ideally cross over step to the other side, as it is quick and efficient. But if the ball is heading in the centre or near side, then ideally you want to use a standard shuffle for the minimal adjustments. As the shot is about to be taken, control your movement by not moving towards one side and having your body weight going forwards on your toes. The cutback will be a reacting save, so it may look like an unorthodox save, but as long as you keep the ball out of the goal, then you did your job. If you reach this bit in the video, comment down below save, and let's move on to the drills. The first drill requires you to start in the centre with a server on the byline on the 6-yard box doing the cutbacks, and an attacker creating runs for a cutback scenario. As the feeder shouts go, run to the post setting correctly for a cutback and dive low or medium to cut out the cutback before throwing the ball back for another cutback, where you may go and cut it out or drop back to save a shot from the attacker. This drill works on your cutbacks and reactions. The second drill, you would have a player running down the line from the edge of the box with an attacker around the penalty spot ready to tap balls in whilst you are in the centre of the goal. The cross of the ball will run down the line closer to the goal or further away from the goal, and even further away from the byline, meaning you would have to react to what is going on and position accordingly. They could, from whatever position they are in, shoot, cross or cut back, meaning you need to be ready for anything. This drill is materialistic, ensuring you are aware of the different possibilities. So that's how to defend cutbacks, and goodbye.